FY16 to FY 2023. You will see that as enrollment declined over the years, the salary expense line increased by $18 million from 2016 to 2022. So shorthand, fewer students and a significantly larger salary expense line. Not to freeze hiring, not to upset people, but to more intentionally backfill for positions and to more intentionally allocate new positions to ensure better alignment with our, we're moving in the right direction. And when we take into account the overall progress we have made in a one-year period, I am pleased to report that we have reduced the structural deficit by $12 million in 1 year, from $18 million to roughly $6 million. We have not done this. So, we have done this without spending down the university's cash reserves, without eliminating programs, and without layoffs. That has not been easy, and it has not been perfect, and there's more work to do. But it does represent a significant accomplishment that positions us to pursue the strategic goals and to more effectively serve the students that you see on the screen, the most recent cohort of SIUE students. Top public institution for graduating student athletes, #1. Now, depending on where I am, I usually, there's another institution in the state that you might expect to be #1. And so I have to remind people, in addition to the #1 ranking for the state of Illinois, SIUE, think about this for a moment, ranks #5 in the nation among all public institutions for graduation success for our student athletes. More impressive is that there were 6 SIUE teams that scored a perfect 100%. Men's golf, men's track and field, and cross country, men's basketball, women's soccer, women's tennis, and women's volleyball all earned perfect scores on that ranking. This was more than any other Ohio Valley Conference institution. I'm extremely proud of the dedication of our student athletes, our athletics department, and our faculty who support these students in their academic success. I especially want to thank Jackie DeClue and our athletics department for the effort and commitment to make sure that our student athletes have what they need to excel in the classroom. I said to him, who's producing more graduates than we are? Bill says, I don't know, let me take a look, I'll get back to you. I see him 2 days later, and he says, you're gonna like this. I said, well, what is it? He says, I think we're the #1 producer of bachelor's degrees within a 50-mile radius of this campus. That includes St. Louis. He says, yes, it does. I said, Phil, are you sure? He says, yes, I'm sure. He sort of gave me a look, are you questioning my numbers? I said, I want to make sure because if this is true, this is something. And he says, yes, it's true. The very next week, I'm in a meeting of CEOs in downtown St. Louis. And I won't name all of the companies, but I want you to imagine every major company and corporation in the greater St. Louis region is around a conference table. And I'm there with a couple of other higher education leaders. And I'm fairly new in the role, and so I am going to introduce myself to this group of corporate leaders. And it really is a who's who group. And you've got 30 seconds to introduce yourself. It's a large room. My turn is up. I stand up and I say, good morning, I'm James Minor. I have the great honor and privilege to serve as the Chancellor at SIUE. And did you know? We're the #1 producer of bachelor's degrees in the greater St. Louis metro. We're powering the workforce of today, and we're going to define the workforce of the future. You don't have a workforce. I didn't go there, but this is what I was thinking. You don't have a workforce if it's not for SIUE. That was my attitude. It was a remarkable discovery, and it was an opportunity in that moment.
And you don't exist without us.
To not only the students who arrived
we stand in
here,
this?
to the business community, to communities that depend on us to solve problems. And as we go forward, I want to go back where we started this afternoon, and that's with our mission.
We solve your problems.
That's with our mission.
Oh, yeah.
It's not about an individual. And quite honestly, our mission is not about a single contract. Our mission
at least 3 right now.
is to develop professionals, scholars, and leaders who shape a changing world.
Professionals
care of
get
your
fair wages.
staff.
If the students who arrive here have a great chance of graduating and moving on into communities.
We say stand up. Minor says give up. 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 We say stand up. Fair contract now. 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 Fair contract now.
They can afford new golf carts for the university. Where's the living wage for the staff? They can afford all kinds of stuff. The chancellor gets how much a year for his housing? $35,000 a year for housing. That's more than our people make.
Our facilities management department is the lowest paid in the state.
That
$30,000
They
stipend
raised
was
the
a
level
one-time
of
thing.
tuition
Changed
and
it to a
fees
yearly
being paid for
stipend, by the way.
everybody except for staff. We still have to pay all our fees if we want to go to school here.
There you go.
How fair is that?
No break
And
for
we
the
make
staff.
less than half of what it used to be originally? $60,000? Please, I make 34. That's ridiculous.
Our staff are going to food pantries because they're not making enough to feed their families on the salaries they make full-time here at the university.
Our staff has second and third jobs just to make ends meet. That's wrong.
I mean, is it because we're women mostly? But we got the guys back here too. But we're a very large percentage of women, but you know, the guys are right here with us and they're getting screwed too.
Not the only union in the fight.
That's right, that's right.
Minor declined to take a photograph with me in the sign.
That's so weird.
In fact, he shook my hand, and when I asked, he declined, and then his handler tried to take the stuff from me instead. I had several other questions, but he didn't seem to want to answer any.
Yes, they don't want to answer anything. If they were
tired of
professional,
being
they'd be able to
ignored.
provide an itemized budget. They don't have an itemized budget. You know what that means? That means they don't know where their money is. They can't prove that they
Say
did
it, Annie.
anything to help the deficit because they don't have an itemized budget. We've been asking for a year.
When we lose an
No
employee in our
respect.
department, that money disappears from the department. We have to beg to get the money back in our department to hire employees.
The reason staffing has gone down in the last year is because they won't hire any of the people that are leaving for other jobs. That's not a good thing. That means all the work is still here. They're just not employing people to
That's
do
right.
the work, which
6
means
years
all
ago-
of us have to take on extra. Yeah, that seems fair. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's right, because they're the ones getting bonuses from all that foundation money they raised, not us. They who are already
for
bringing
us.
in $500,000 in their own pocket every year, will we make 30 something? Yeah, okay. That
Yeah.
seems fair, doesn't it? No, it doesn't, not at all.
No, they always seem to have money for the things they want, and they don't care about us.
Like, for example, that new golf cart over there that has embroidered seats. There's 2 to 3 of them around campus.
Brand new one.
$35,000 to $40,000.
I
Brand new
mean, that's
Super
way
Duty
more
trucks.
important than somebody
That'll
having to work
fund
3 jobs to put
60,000
food on the table, right? I mean, gosh, how is that golf cart not more important than my life and my kids?
Let me see.
Wow.
Let's try to shrink the deficit. Oh, I know. Let's do rebranding. How much is that going to cost? Oh, that's going to cost over $1 million. Don't give us any money. Let's rebrand because that's really going to bring in the students.
Administrative bonuses too.
Right.
All the
And they're
trustees
trying
got
to make
bonuses, many of the
enrollment be
chancellors
our
did, vice
responsibility.
chancellors.
They want to base our contract on enrollment. What do we do for enrollment? We sit in our offices and we make sure everything goes smoothly so that the faculty have their textbooks, so that the department can make their ends meet with the budget we're given. We're the ones that run the budgets. We're the ones that make the purchases and make the decisions for the purchases in our departments. But yet, we can't get a living wage.
We love the students here, or else we wouldn't be here working for the wages that we have. I love the students in my department, and they love me because I take care of them. Our department takes care of them. Yet this man doesn't take care of anyone but himself.
Time and time again. I really can't wait till they explain to us how much it costs to redo his freaking office for
Again.
no reason. No reason whatsoever. He just didn't like it the way it was. That was a worthwhile expense. But feeding our kids, making sure our kids can come to this university, that's not a worthwhile expense. That's a problem, people. That's a
Amen.
really big problem.
Amen.
In,
Amen, Amy.
in 2017, the building service workers, your individuals that are out here cleaning your campus, cleaning your bathrooms, your common areas, all of your classrooms. We did it during COVID. We were out here at risk ourselves. We were out here doing that. In 2017, our department had 80 individuals in it, cleaning the core campus, split between 3 shifts. We now have 37 people. 37 people trying to do the same job, and one less shift
But
to
he's
do it
counting
in.
that as his fixing of the budget. We took care of them not being able to survive on their paychecks, so them not working here anymore. That's his golden feather in his cap for lowering the deficit.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so not impressed.
And how many people have left because of the atmosphere here on campus?
Lower the
Since he
deficit
came.
by
Out of the 37 employees that
The
we have,
unprovable deficit, by the way.
out of the 37 employees that we have, in the next year to 2 years, we're going to be losing a multitude of those as well, if not sooner. We can't hire anybody because we're only making minimum wage. Why would they come work hard at this university cleaning it when they can go flip a burger
And make more.
and make $15 to $16 an hour?
Six
Or make
years-
your tacos.
6 years ago when I started, minimum wage, or the starting wage here was 30% above minimum wage. I'm now making $50 less than I was a year ago because of insurance rates and 3 years without a contract. We should be getting a contract by now. This is way
Amen.
too long. Fair wage.
So we work 3 jobs.
Yes.
3 jobs. How many of you want to work 3 jobs as your future after you've gone to college? Because hi, I have a bachelor's degree and I'm working 3 jobs. And I work here full time.
How many
Why
people-
is that okay?
How many people here are
Why
parents?
is that okay?
How many people have already, how many of you have kids? They're working 2 and 3 jobs and raising families and running a household.
And then when we turn around and we want to come to school here, we want to take classes here, our fees aren't covered like they'll cover them for the general populace, you know, those that make up to 60-something thousand already. And he just announced, oh, now 6. Do you guys know whose decision it is to actually keep you guys here?
And to
It's on
recruit?
his job description, the chancellor. It's the chancellor who gets credit if we get that 283. Nobody else.
He's
Nobody
gonna
else
get
is going
the
to get
bonuses.
bonuses. Just him. Oh, and President Mahoney. Because he just got a 6-figure bonus in June, so
Those
he
housing
needs more.
stipends.
Because he
Don't forget
met his
those.
goals.